Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is Ronnie Carum. Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Well, hello.
Hello. It's Below Deck Day. Are you excited?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. Guys and gals and those in between, we have 3 more dates left on our Mounting Hysteria tour. We are going to Austin on May 9th, and then we're going to Dallas on May 10th. And then on May 15th, I believe, we are going to Las Vegas. So please come and join us at those shows. They're going to be so much fun. We've had amazing shows all tour long. So let's go out with a bang, okay? Go to watchwhatcrappens.com to get your tickets. That's where all the links are and the details, the times, everything like that. And then also join us on Patreon, patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. You get access to our bonus episode. This week we're going to do a trailer trash. And then also our Crappens on demand, where you can watch us, not just listen. So go check that out.
Do it.
That's it. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Work, buddy. Nice work.
Thank you.
All right. Here we are with a little Below Deck Down Under. Or if you shorten it to BDDU, is Badada.
Badoo.
Badada. So that's too many D's. Badadoo. So here we are. It's the second day of charter. It's at 6:57 a.m. So we know things are very dramatic because it starts on a 7. And the crew is getting prepped and Alicia's texting Johnny. And it's interesting because he's got such emotion that she can text him and then she can hear his response as like a slow beating of the cabinets.
Yeah.
It's that Morse code. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's like, what does that mean? Siri, tell me what this Morse code means. It's like, it says, shusha, 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 shusha. I have so much emotion for you. I cannot handle it. Shusha, shusha, shusha.
You're beautiful. Yeah. So she's still texting with him, and people getting ready for the day. And Serena is asking her to get some cream cheese and salmon out. And Alicia is like a bit distracted because I guess she's love struck, and she said that Johnny's not there, but also she sort of has her head in the clouds most of the season anyway. So she's being a little slow, and you can see Serena's getting mad. She's like, all right, so you can put out that salmon. And she's like, yeah, but what platter should I put on? The same one we use every morning, Alicia. Have you had your coffee? Please tell me you've had your coffee.
She's like, but what do you want the fruit platter on? She's like, the same platter as you use every goddamn... I'm starting to see where your sister was coming from, I've got to say.
Yeah, seriously. So then Laura is struggling coming in and out on the deck because the doors are not working. I mean, Laura, I guess. And then Adair is like, good morning. Why did you get more sleep? And... Nick is saying he's going to help with the slide and everything, and I love Nick. Nick is so great. I love the hot nerdy thing. It's great combo.
Yeah, he's going to get the slide, and it's like, all we need to do is the slide, the naughty boy, get the swim ladder in. What time did you get to bed, by the way, Nick? And he says 6:30. He's like, oh God, looks like everyone had a lot of fun, didn't they? And then we see a flashback of Nikita telling Nick he has to take a shot. So Nick has like hot nerd guilt. He's just walking around like, oh God, what do I say about this? This is going to be absolutely humiliating to Mummy and Daddy. But I've got to do it. I must confess. Yeah, he's in a real quandary here. He's like, well, I know that Captain Jason drinking on tartar is an absolute no-go, and there's a reality where I just don't bring it up and I leave it in the past and I try to do better. But it's not the right way to go about it. Oh, shit. I'll tell you what would have happened if there were not TV cameras around. He would have murdered that girl who saw him. What's her face? He's like, we have to talk about this. Bree. He would have murdered her because you know that look she gave him when he was taking the shot was like wide-eyed, like, oh no, he's taking a shot. I must communicate this. Boom. That shot right there meant you're dead. Like if this was a Lifetime movie, she would have been
over the side of that boat
Yeah.
in 2 seconds, but it's not. So she got to live. Yay. So it's 9:11 a.m. too soon. And the guests are waking up for breakfast. And Jason's like, all right, everybody, storm's coming in. Watch out. Big storm coming in. Jason looks very bored this whole season. I mean, you've got a storm. I feel like Captain Sandy would have everybody awake. She'd have Ike, Mike, and his cousin Larry up. She'd have everybody like, guys, wind. Everybody gather around the big screen in the bridge. Wind is coming. But
I mean, it's like a full-on storm. He's acting like it's just like a buoy. They saw a buoy in the water. It's a storm. That's scary. It's dangerous.
Flying around outside. It's like, whatever. Yeah. Helen Hunt's flying in front of the boat. Whatever, everybody. Let's just gather.
There was a wide shot of that storm. It was like this wall of storm that was just coming towards the boat. I was like, why is no one panicked right now? This is very scary.
He wasn't. He doesn't
just
care.
deep thoughts. So Zarina is asked telling Lisa to clean something, and then
she tells Marina, she radios Marina to come for service, and this is actually a smart thing. I think Laura's still an asshole, and she becomes more of an asshole today, but this is a smart thing in never giving somebody what they want, because once you do give them what they want, they act like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. She's like, Marina, can you come help with service? She's like, oh, fuck yeah, let's do this. We're doing service today. I'm service. Yeah, fuck yeah. Like she wants to go to work now so bad because she gets the chance to put the forks out.
Yes, the big fork placement moment. So meanwhile, Lara is talking to Adair about they're going to like a rum tasting later, and so she's sort of arranging it with Adair that Lara and Adair are going to go and then do galleys. She's arranging the whole day's plan, and Jason's like, so who in the interior is going? And she's like, well, it's just gonna be me and Adair and Sheffy probably. And he's like, well, why can't you put Marina in charge? And she goes, well, she can't do service on her own. And then it cuts to Marina literally doing service on her own, serving breakfast. Like, can I help anyone here?
Yeah, especially when it's the picnic. Like it's literally uncovering salads and letting people serve themselves. I mean, Laura. So she's like, well, she's never done it on her own. I mean, she's very good at housekeeping, turns out, which is a nice surprise. But how much can we push that? She'll have a nervous breakdown any moment. I see it coming. And he's like, well, we don't want to change it up because it works so well. I know, but mix it up anyway. Do it anyway. She goes, oh God. I just thought maybe it's not as formal as I thought, so maybe she can handle it because, formal. She doesn't have blonde hair, put on all the makeup that I require. I saw a theory in the comments, which is where I'm getting that someone was like, I think that she doesn't want her up there because she doesn't put her hair back and makeup every day. I thought never saw that coming, but maybe it is like a Faye thing. Because remember, Faye was like that on Below Deck Great Adventure or whatever, where she's like,
All right, girls, here's what I believe in service. Hairspray and lipstick.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is that Lara, you touched on it right there, but like Lara is kindest to anyone who has blonde hair, and like anyone who does not have blonde hair, aka Marina and Zarina. So it's a dual theory. You have to have blonde hair, and also if your last name ends with Ina, she's not gonna mess with you.
So Jason tells us Laura's such a great leader, but it's also being a leader is also letting people strive and grow. As you might notice, I'm letting the storm grow right outside right now. So this is, just a picnic setup, so Marina could handle it. But she's still not trusting of that. So you
can't tell me that the captain of any boat cares about whether or not Marina is on service. Like this is purely a production was like, you have to advocate for this because it's the storyline that we're pushing. I don't think any captain cares how the chief stew delegates her staff. I think most captains are like, well, put them in the positions that you think are strongest, and then I'll leave it up to you. So the fact that he's getting involved in this does not ring true to me.
It does to me, and here's why. Because I think it's the halfway point of the season, or it's below deck, so it could be the quarter point. Never knowing how many episodes they'll have in a season. But it's to the point of the season where he's starting to see things that are glaringly obvious. Like, one, he saw Vihan way too late. And I think he's like, okay, well, maybe I should have seen that sooner. And he's also seeing that things are still not completely peaceful there. And I think he's realizing, like the audience is that Laura's just an asshole. And I think he's like, that's not cool. Like, you had me not liking this Marina chick because she was like too casual and this and that. And I yelled at her for being too casual. And then I found out she was kind of cool. And now you're just still not giving her away. And she's always working and she's kind of cool. Why are you being a dick about it? And she's like being a real stickler about letting her do anything. And I think now he's like, you're an asshole. So stop being an asshole. I don't think he really cares about the service. I think he's just trying to get to the bottom of why she's an asshole.
Yeah, well, maybe he feels a certain duty of care ever since he had his conversation with Marina and was like, what's really going on with you? And she's like, I'm just stuck in the bowels of the boat all the time. But it's still surprising to me because I just feel like I feel like most people just wouldn't care, like if you're good at folding the clothes, you're good at folding the clothes and make yourself don't complain about it. Like you're part of a team, yada, the whole thing. Right. So, but maybe he feels guilty from that conversation.
Well, and he's also a man who's expanding. He's not like, listen, I'm not just a man who runs into docks anymore. I'm a man who runs into docks when you can see his dockers because he's wearing his own designed kimono.
That's right.
Dream big.
So Laura goes up to Marina and is like, do you feel confident doing the rum tasting? You'll be on your own doing service. You'll have to do something very complicated, okay? You're going to take the tinfoil with your fingers, clasp the tinfoil with your forefinger and your thumb, and pull back. And that will reveal the food. Are you able to do this?
And she's like, I feel confident. And she's like, are you sure? She goes, yes. I'm confident. You can believe in me, coach. So she's like, all right, let me talk you through it. All right, listen, here's the pictures. This might look like potato salad, right? You can't touch it. Do you know why? There's a covering on top. The covering is see-through. That's because it's made out of plastic. Do you understand? Have you ever heard of this? She's like, I get it. I fucking get it. Okay.
Yeah. But Marina does act like she has been like, she's going into the front lines of a war. It's like, well, our entire nation relies on you, Marina, to serve this potato salad. So Zarina is, she's telling Alicia to cut some crudités, and then, Harry is bonding with Nate. Nate is the new bosun, for those who forgot. And so Harry and Nate are bonding in a very like Australian way, where Harry's like, well, Nate was the head of science. And then Nate's like, oh yeah, and gives him like a high five. Harry's like, well, why'd you give me a high five for that? He's like, I just love high fives, dude. I need to make it clear I'm a daily high five creator.
So I'm not sure what to think of Nate yet. He gives me kind of Australian Ned Flanders vibes. He's got he's got hotness, but he's a dork. Not that Ned Flanders was hot. I mean, it depends on your taste, but he's got kind of a dorky thing, which I kind of like. Like his eyes look. He does this thing where his eyes look kind of unfocused, like he's not wearing his very thick glasses. And I say that as somebody who used to wear very thick glasses. Mine would get like that. I think that he's got like a nerd element there, which we're not seeing quite yet.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's something kind of like, there's like a golden retriever aspect to him,
It's literally golden.
He's literally golden. He looks like kind of like Ryan, what's his face, from the Barbie movie. Ryan Gosling, and I'm amending from last week, because last week I said he reminded me of Detective Quimby from Inspector Gadget, but now it's like if Detective Quimby worked out and then started to look like Ryan Gosling. I think that's what he looks like, but he has the enthusiasm of like a camp counselor, which is not what you'd expect from either of those characters, and it's just sort of hard to reconcile all those concepts together.
Yeah. So then Alicia is singing to herself not to take life too seriously, because, it's been very difficult. Serena was mean to her about a fruit platter and a salmon platter and told her to get a coffee. So she's had a really rough morning, you guys. It's like hell working for Serena. So Laura comes in and she's like, oh, look at you making a fruit tray. Well, when I think of fruit, I think of a strawberry for you. And she's like, do you? That's so nice. She goes, yes, because you're always bright. And it's not, it's always, it's nice to always see a strawberry, isn't it? It is. And you grow in soil, which is poop. And Serena can be that, just keeping you back here mired and poop. But still, that little shiny part, everyone wants to just pluck you and take you out of the kitchen, don't we?
Serena is so angry in the back of in the galley, just watching this entire interaction happen. And she's like, okay, I don't think I can have two people from this department go to this rum tasting. With the timing that we have, we'll be leaving this place in absolute shithole. So, we can't go to this rum tasting. And Laura's like, well, no, there's no heads of departments there. She's like, yeah, but I don't want to leave the galley. She's like, but if it's just washing up that you're concerned about, we could do that while you're gone. She says, no, it's not just washing up. It's just, well, I mean, a head of department has to be there. If you're concerned about head of department, why aren't you there? Why don't you take a day off?
Fucking go.
And you go.
You fucking go. Yeah, you go. No, a head of department does not need to be there to sit there and watch him eat chicken salad. Okay. Or send the chief, what's his buns? Chief, the one we were just talking about, golden retriever face. Get him out to go. Why does it have to be the one with the hardest job? It's just bizarre. Laura's bizarre. And I think she's trying to fuck with her. I think she's trying to make her look bad by being like, oh, she had to go and then she's going to have stuff late. And then she's going to be like, well, there's Serena always getting stuff in late. There's the manure chef. You know how it is. So she's like, all right, well, Serena's just giving it.
I actually don't think I don't think it's actually as intentional as that. I think she's like, well, I don't want to go and the bosun's not going. So that'll be Serena has to go. And that's just how it's going to be. Like, I think that's what Laura thinks. Like, cause someone has to be there, but I've decided it's not going to be me. And so she's just like, well, it's just the way it's going to be, Serena. And Serena's like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't have to be that way. And I would have liked Serena to have advocated for herself and say, why don't you go? Why don't you take a day off? And you go, I'll send Alicia, you go, etc. She's like, she should say, I have to cook stuff here,
Well, but she sees what Laura's doing. And I think she's got a very good call on what Laura's doing, which is really butter up the other chef that's in there and make Serena look like an asshole, which she does. She's like, look at you, my bright little strawberry. What a fruit you are. Like, Laura doesn't talk like that to people. Laura's an asshole. So I think she's very smart when she calls it out. She's like, yeah, I see what she's doing. She's like coming in here to make herself look like the good guy and me look like the bad guy. And I think that Serena probably is looking crazy to a lot of people by thinking that, but I think she's right. I think that is what Laura's doing. So she's like, I'm just going to keep pushing her. I'm just going to keep pushing her. She's already on the edge. It'll be fun.
Well, so I think that, either way, Laura.
I mean, basically, look, here's basically where we're at right now. You give Laura the benefit of the doubt, and I do not. That's just
I give her. I'm not as full conspiratorial that she sent Zarina to the beach picnics. That way Zarina would flop and then Zarina would look bad.
I'm not sure.
I just think
I'm not sure.
That's where I'm not.
I just
everything
think
else
she's pushing her. I think she's purposely pushing her because there's no reason that she needs to be there. That's just silly.
There's no reason whatsoever. She's doing some sort of like weird divide and conquer thing. So but Zarina,
that's the best way.
The problem with Zarina though is that she, like me, sometimes can't help but cater to her dark side, which is uncontrollable passive aggression. And so Zarina, instead of saying, no, why don't you fucking go? Zarina's like, it's fine, I'll go. So that way this way there's no reason for her to go. And she should have just said, I'm not going to go. She's head of department. She's as much of a right to say that I'm not going to go.
Right, because she's playing into her hands. Like, I'm looking at it like she's playing right into her hands because now she's getting pissed, and so she's going to start being moody, and then later Laura gets to go, oh my God, look at Serena, always moody. Look what I have to deal with, everybody, which is what she does.
Yes.
So,
evil. No, it's a total cycle. We see it happening. Yeah. So Zarina is just saying she just doesn't want to go there, but it's easier to just do it than to argue with Laura, which is funny because that fight over the plate for mob night, that really seemed to just destroy them, huh? She's like, I can't take it. I can't take another argument with her. The way that she railroaded me about white plates for mob night. I can't do it anymore.
It's just constant. It's like the timing of the food, the this and the that. That was just another tick on the box. That was just another box ticked for that one.
Oh, so by the way, for those we have a correction to make. Zarina did prepare the fish last week tableside. I know it's a big discussion.
Yes, that was my bad. Yes.
So we fall on the sword.
There.
We fall on the sword.
No, that was me. You were not wrong. I'm not falling on a sword. Here's what I'm doing. I'm moving the sword over, and I'm going to say this: stop leaving swords in the middle of the road for me to fall on them. Okay, so remove the sword and I won't have to fall on it. I will not fall on it. So, but I am sorry, that was wrong. It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial. So Harry is immediately, he's not the one to tattletale, but Laura goes to the person she knows will spread the shit, which is Harry. So he's like, what's happening down there? And she's like, oh, just tension today. Lots of tension. You know, Serena. And he's like, what's wrong with her? And she goes, I just don't know. You know, it's just Serena and her crazy personality.
So then everyone gets to the rum distillery, and Alicia and Serena are on their way, and it takes a very long time to get there. And in the meantime, we see Nick. He's struggling. He's having an internal struggle because he knows he has to fess up to the captain that he took a shot last night, and he's like, staying out of your own head is a lesson that I still have yet to learn. Not the most experienced person on the crew by very far. Actually, my dad got me started in yachting. He's always been very adventurous. He was my professional windsurfer, then kite surfer, then just land surfer. I don't know how he did that, but he surfed on land. He surfed everywhere. And now captain in the Med. And I've never known someone to listen to as few rules as he does. That's the type of person I want to be. Unfortunately, I am the opposite of that. So that was his backstory, which, by the way, his dad, we see pictures of his dad. What are the odds that his dad gets recruited into the Below Deck franchise as like a captain of a boat? I kind of felt like this was a setup for something, right?
Yeah, that would be great. He's a captain in the Med. You're hired. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah.
Buddy. I would love to see any man at work who produced this handsome, nerdy fellow with a deep voice. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on, daddy. So now Laura and Adair are setting up the picnic, and the guests are going to the rum distillery. By the way, I hope these guests choke on that fucking rum. You cheap Dubai bitches. I mean, how are you from Dubai and you're going to be that cheap? Dubai is like the richest place ever. They spend money. It's dripping with money ever. And you're like the shittiest tip on the entire season.
Oh yeah, I was wondering where this was going. I was wondering where this was going. I was like, what was wrong with the rum distillery?
Spoiler alert, they tipped shittily. I was pissed off.
Yeah, that was a shitty tip, and they did so much for these people. People
by Dubai bitches, jobs. I just mean rich bitches because you're from Dubai. How dare you? And I shouldn't even call you bitches. That's not nice. Dubai buttheads. How dare you?
You know what you are? Pieces of shit.
Yeah.
You pieces of shit.
Yeah, that's harsher somehow, but I'm still with it. There was no excuse for this. I hope your businesses fail because they're like, oh, what's that CEO? Oh my God, Marina, you're like number 23 CEO today. It just came out in this article. She's like, oh, wow, really? I didn't even know. My PR person who set that up didn't even tell me about that. Let's seriously. $5 when we leave.
Yeah, that was a shitty ass tip because it was not even just it was a multi-night charter. So yeah, terrible. So congratulations, Contessa, you're off the hook from last season. No, this season.
No, this season. I think it's the same. I think it was 15, right?
Was Contessa but it was Contessa on below? I think Contessa was on Below Deck Sailing.
Oh, I thought she was this season.
I can't remember. All I know is that there's a new bad tipper.
Maybe it was last season. I don't know. It's Below Deck. It's all the same. It's all the same.
It's a boat.
Who knows? Yeah. So Marina is excited. She's like, oh, I have an opportunity to be back on service again. So now I'm going to work my ass off. I'm a valuable professional. I'm too charismatic to be in the dungeon. Everybody's going to know how good I am. Look, put your napkin in your lap. Do it. They're like, oh my God. Okay.
Excuse me. The most charismatic people are the ones in the dungeon. Hello. That's why you get thrown in the dungeon because you usually have too much charisma.
Yeah,
all the great
we are literally in the dungeon of the entertainment industry. This is where they've thrown us.
I was gonna say all the great martyrs in history, but also us.
I'm one of the great martyrs in history. I literally compete with Jesus on Easter. I'm like, oh wow, you rose? I rose to be here. Did you have to iron something? No, you didn't. You were a ghost. Whatever.
Listen, they don't make movies about people who were like falsely put into a living room. They make movies about people who are falsely imprisoned. They're just more charismatic. That's what people are jealous. People are jealous and they're haters.
Yeah, so basically the Green Mile. Like Tom Hanks just wanted to get out to like do proper dinner service. He was like, you know what? I'm here to put the fork on the proper side. Okay, it's the right side of the plate, and that's it. No, it's actually on the left, isn't it? The knife is on
Fork
the
is on the left.
Then he was sent back to jail. Green Mile Part 2. Tom Hanks failed at service.
He had some charisma challenges. I wish I could think of other movies with dungeons, but I shockingly can't think of a single movie with a dungeon. I could just think of like Game of Thrones when they were in like the Martells, those people. Like, I don't know. Doesn't even matter.
I think of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Talk about charisma in the dungeon.
That was the charismatic person in the dungeon. Candy. She made a whole show out of it. Okay, so the tour guide, they're showing, these turtles. At this point, these turtles are like old show queens. It's like you got Joan Rivers down there. You got fucking Mitzi Gaynor. They're just like, come on, kids, give us a paint, give us a pet, would you? Come on, we do this every fucking day. Just tell us how young we look.
I love these tortoises. They really are becoming a huge star. And then, by the way, something that was insulting. Talk about here's a good support for these people being cheap. So, although maybe it would say that they're actually very wealthy, I can't tell. You decide. But one of the guests starts using the rum as like hand sanitizer because it's like 69% alcohol or something like that, which I kind of think is like. I just kind of think it's disrespectful to just do that at the rum distillery itself. It's like they made this rum and they're probably giving it to you for free because it's on TV, and you're just like not even gonna drink it. You're just gonna pour it on your hands and use it. Like, I don't know. I think it's shitty.
Oh, I took it as I'm just like, we're just like fun girls.
I know it was
all over my body. And also, I think they'd be thrown in jail for life if they did that in Dubai. So they're just like, look what we can do. We're such rebels.
Well, I was like, does this speak to them being really cheap and that they won't get their own hand sanitizer, or them being so wealthy that they don't care that they're pouring very expensive rum on their hands? And I'm gonna side with the latter. The point is, assholes. So Marina is she's like setting up the buffet, which is very exciting. And Zarina is like, all right, here you do. Okay, so wow. Oh, I can't possibly do this without my head chef, right? Spinach courgette asparagus. There it is. Oh, congratulations.
It's like, and red onions. We've done red onions. Yes, you've that's actually an apple, you fucking moron, but whatever. All right, well, it's an hour round trip, so I guess I should leave now. It's been an absolute pleasure and definitely not a waste of my time to be here. Do you reckon the next time you can just do it alone? And she's like, I mean, yeah, I can take tin foil off. I know how to do that. But why are you acting like she's yelling at you? You know she's yelling at Laura. You were in the galley when Laura was insisting that she come.
Well, because now Zarina is viewing Alicia as like an extension of Laura. I think she feels at this point Alicia's already been brought over to the dark side. She can't trust Alicia, and so now she's mad at her too, which is kind of unfair, right? Because this poor girl's just been trying to do her job, even if she's had her head in the clouds. She can't help it if Laura's come over and called her a strawberry.
So Serena leaves, and Marina asks Alicia if she's okay, and she's like, well, I mean, I know how to take off cling film and set up a thing. Jeez, why am I being treated like this? So she introduces the food to the ladies, who probably smell absolutely drunk because they've been covering themselves in the rum. And Alicia's like, so here we have a goddess quiche and some stuffed figs and potato salad and pasta. It has all been hand unwrapped.
So then Nick radios to go meet with the captain. So he goes up to Jason. He's like, so last night on entertainment duty, the girls were having a good time, and I did report something on myself. One of them came over and said, do you have a drink? And I guess I got very carried away with myself and I did a shot, and I wasn't insistent enough with myself, and I fucked up and I took a shot. And I just want to let you know, and firstly, if you need to throw me overboard and feed me to the sharks, I understand. Tell my father I love him very dearly.
He's like, wow, first charter, not acceptable. That's an issue. Now listen, I have already been on the phone with Australian Norma twice, and I'm not going to do it again. You can keep your job. Thanks for being honest. Take a kimono on your way out. Goodbye. Just let me alone. I'd like to take a nap here. It's exhausting. I'm watching a storm on television. Goodbye. Leave now.
So yeah, he does the whole thing of like, well, but at the end of the day, you get nothing for nothing. But also, if you know what you did wrong, and coming up to you doing this is exactly what I wanted of someone. So I think we could put this to bed. So good on you. You were honest.
Yeah.
So
and it's like, it will not happen again. That's a normal thing for me. I'd like to assure you, sir, I'm very, very, very sorry. And if you're on the radio with any captains from the Med, just please don't mention this. He's like, all right, just please leave now.
So then Zarina comes back on the boat and Lara's like, so how was it? The biggest waste of time this entire season. I mean, I've got so much shit to do. You just got to take it out and present it. I don't know why I have to do this fucking thing, presenting it at the wrong time. Lara's like, okay, well, so you went before got taken out? She's like, what do you mean? She's like, the food. She's like, yeah, it's fine. Nothing's affecting me at all. So Zarina is in like a furious mood now.
I love that Lara's still trying to get her. She's like, oh, so you left before the food was taken out? She's like, oh, fuck off. And also we saw a little scene in there of Lara with Bree. Bree's cleaning the rooms. And she's like, Bree, we must make sure the pillows are flat. Please make sure they're flat. She's like, okay, God, okay, I will. She's like, see, I can't do this with Bree. It's ruining my whole flow.
And then they also showed there's also a moment where Bree is like, I don't know how to turn the shower off. I think it's going to run infinitely. She's like, use a different knob. She's like, oh my God, it worked.
You see what I'm saying? This girl doesn't understand showers. She must be in a higher position.
It is the definition of failing up, right?
Yes. You cannot put gorgeous blonde people in showers. That's just not what we do. It's going against nature.
So, by the way, I think the reason why Zarina went on this trip, aside from the fact that she's, you know, she gets to be passive aggressive, I think she's building a case so that way she can say to Jason, well, I mean, it's outrageous. I mean, she had me go all the way out there just to take some cling wrap off and come all the way back. That was an hour I could have been on the boat. So, because she knows if she has something tangible that she could bring to the captain, that will be more effective than if it's just like her word versus Lara word. Like if they both go to the captain about why they can't get along. So I think she like took the L on this one solely so that way she had empirical evidence that Lara is mismanaging the situation.
Yeah, but then she never does it. So that's the thing. It's like she doesn't do it. I think she's just trying to make Lara happy because by the end of the episode, of course, Lara turns it around like, see, Serena's crazy, everybody. I told you. And then she's fucked. So now anything she says now is going to look like she's fighting back against the crazy claims.
Well, I think she's still building her case. I think she wants to get 2 to 3 pieces of evidence that then she can take to Captain Jason and say, I can't do this anymore. I can't work like this. She's too much, you know, but like one is not enough.
Turning against Lara because she thinks that Lara's like Lara's the popular girl that she wants to be. So I don't see her like trying to turn her in because then she'd be dead forever in front of Lara. And Lara, she's going to have to see possibly on other boats, the other boat they worked on together. I think she just wants the approval of this chick she's never going to get it from. But who knows? Let's see. Time will tell, you know. We've made our predictions. Let's see what transpires, shall we? So Lara, of course, is already like, well, I wish Serena would have been more passionate about serving the guest lunch than serving me this shitty attitude. Like, what the fuck? You're an asshole. That's what. That's what.
Why don't you be more
through
passionate?
The TV? Yeah.
Why don't you be more passionate about going and serving lunch? It's like, she's not the only one. Okay. It's like, just like, there's no passion that's required in sticking a ladle into some tzatziki and slopping it onto a plate.
Yeah. So then the guests come back and it's announced at 8:30 will be time for dinner. And Laura is like, well, you know, in a perfect world, Marina would just want to stay in cabins forever. But I'm actually really impressed with her right now. She didn't even have to text me to ask me what the invisible stuff was on top of potato salad. And I was expecting that. So well done.
Cut to Brie trying to figure out how to turn off a sink. That one, on the other hand, needs a little bit of work.
So Marina says they had a great time. She's like, it was great until somebody lit a cigarette and they started on fire, which was crazy. So we had to put her out. But I think otherwise she's fine. Everything was fine.
So Alicia comes back in and she's like, how's it been in here? And Zarina just ignores her. Should I put this in the bin? No. Okay, well, opt me in. Let me know what I can do to help. It's all right. Okay. Can I cut a carrot? No. Can I open the fridge? No. Do you want me to stand here? No. Do you want me to be in the kitchen? No. In the kitchen? At the kitchen? Neither. That's impossible.
Yeah.
I have to be in one place or the other.
So then we return to the original problem Serena was having with the first douche, which is when she just turns off And she won't say anything, and she's just completely ignoring this girl. She's like, well, I want to be hopeful, but I don't know what's going on. And she's like, oh. So then Nick pulls every person on the boat aside. He's like, oh, may I have a chat with you? Thank you. That would be lovely. Listen, I just wanted to tell you that last night I was playing a silly game with the ladies, and they asked me to take a shot, and I did it. Please, give me whatever lashings you need to give me.
Everyone's like, oh, okay. It's
like
horrifying.
no
I know.
And there's like,
Application of duty.
Okay, buddy. Well, if I knew we were allowed to drink, I would have done it a long time ago. Did you take a shot while you were watching football on TV?
no, actually, I didn't.
Well, all right. You're still not attractive to me, so moving along.
So then Lara goes up to Alicia. She's like, so, sweetheart, little adorable strawberry. You're not a strawberry shortcake. You're a strawberry tall cake because you're tall and proud. How was it? How was taking the tinfoil off of those chafers? She's like, I loved it. Good, good. I'm glad you loved it because you deserve all the loving in the world.
It's like, it was just nice to be outside, wasn't it? And she goes, oh, well, that's just such good news because that's what I wanted, you know. Strawberries can't grow in basements. They must be out in the world. So I'm glad I gave you that opportunity to step off the boat and see the sunshine. You're welcome. You're welcome. If you'd like to call me Mum and give me a hug, that would be all right.
Now, you sweet, adorable thing, here's a little gift I got from you. It's a necklace. I found it on land, and I'm giving it to you. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Now, hold on. I have to speak privately with Serena. Dinner's at fucking 8:30. Get it ready.
And Alicia tells her, oh, I really appreciate you fighting in my corner to go as well. She didn't have to fight her. Serena was the one who sent you in the first place. What is this bunk? Alicia's pissing me off now, okay? I'm getting pissed. Yeah. She's like too easily swayed. So then Serena's like, she's watching all of this. And she's like, you know, I don't know if Laura's trying to mess with me right now, but it seems like she's grooming my sous chef to be against me. That's not my chef. She should be supporting me. What the fuck is going on? She hates you, okay?
Yeah.
I know you haven't heard her diary rooms or whatever, but she hates your guts. Hope she dies.
Yeah.
Stick a needle in your eye. Hey.
You're like the kid's sister that she doesn't want to deal with, okay? But like, unfortunately, Zarina, like the best way to combat this is that if Zarina also grooms Alicia to be against Lara, like there's no reason why, just because Lara's doing it doesn't mean Zarina can't do it. The worst thing that Zarina can do right now is to stonewall Alicia, because then everything Lara says is going to feel more true and real. She's just sending Alicia over there. You got to fight for your Sue. You got to sit there. You got to gossip and talk shit with her and like share special things and bond and make it clear that Lara will never know what it's like to slice a crudité the way those two do. That's what you got to do. You don't give her the silent treatment.
Yeah, but
you're in a war right now. You're in a battle
like that. Some people just aren't born with that kind of personality where they're like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to re-manipulate this girl to go against that girl. She just wants to be loved, Serena.
I know.
Literally by anybody. I mean, she doesn't care.
If anyone knows, it's me.
She's probably down there at night begging for love from that clownfish that's always swimming by the boat. You know, she's like, was that turtle waving to me? Looks like it was waving to Lara. Well, lose again.
Should we discuss this week's fish, by the way? Speaking of the clownfish, there were some real beauts. I think my favorite one, there was like a yellow one. There's a long yellow one, but sort of had like some like 1907 Parisian makeup on her face. I thought she was really wonderful. I think she was my favorite of the week.
There was a big one that looked like a jug, like it was just this huge fish, and then it like shrinks down right after its face, and then it's goes like a horn. That's what I like. I like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was very nice.
There were a lot of schools of fish, which was fine, but I feel like the schools of fish kind of lack personality, you know, like they're like, it was also small.
Down, like when you get
them,
like, oh.
They were small fish too. So they're especially like, okay, you're just not bringing anything. You're just like creating chaos here, you know?
Yeah.
But
they're like, look, we can move at the same time. Look, that one turned left, I turned left.
They're very proud
you're in the line, school of fish. What do I have to go 30 miles an hour because you can't keep your school of fish out of the road? Get out of the road.
There also, for the second week in a row, there was no sign whatsoever of our favorite moray eel, who suddenly is relegated to the sidelines. However, our sea turtle got like 3 or 4 different shots and even surfaced, got an above water shot later on in the episode. So it was a really big episode for the sea turtle, but for me, I'm still going to give it to the yellowfish with the makeup.
Okay, I'm going to go for the trumpet fish or whatever the fuck.
Okay, we love.
Yeah,
it was great. It was a great turnout.
There was also another moss-colored fish. That might be the same one I'm talking about.
There are
not moss-colored, but covered, and it looks. I like those kind of fish because it looks like they just lie around all day and they just get. It's like when I get up and I have like blanket fuzz all over me because I've been on the couch all day, but I try to pretend I haven't for the delivery guy, and they're like, "You're literally covered in a blanket." So
yeah,
and that's what that kind of fish. It's like, ding dong, and that fish just got up. It's like the cameras are here. The cameras are here. Look, I'm a fish. I'm swimming. Look at the schools. And it was lying because it's covered in blanket.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Also, there was some good work by the Rays. The Rays are always kind of like reliably there, and I feel like we don't like point them out as much, but the Rays were sort of just like moving around in a very gentle way, which I appreciated. And we also got, there's that one fish.
I really love the Ray. The Ray's like, Karen wasn't drunk. She barely even drinks. I don't know why she's getting a drunk driving.
So they're very supportive fish. They'll cover for their wives.
Ray.
Yeah, and then there's also some of those mid-tier fish, like they're those fish that are like, I kind of feel like they coast on being pretty, but they actually don't have a lot of personality. So they're generally like yellow, but they have like 4 blue stripes along their side. They're like, look at me, I have pizzazz. I'm kind of just like pretty, but you're like, yeah, but you don't have like an it factor, and you're going to need an it factor if you want to move ahead in this competition.
Yeah, they just keep passing. They're like, Gaga's back, Gaga's back. They're all saying the same thing. You're like, okay, we get it. You're
a little unoriginal. Yeah, have your own thoughts for once. Yeah.
Okay, so Harry checks in with Serena, and she's bummed, So, of course, production was like, go start shit with Serena. So she's like, I mean, it's so good. And he goes, so are you and Laura getting on? Just random question. Producers didn't tell me to ask this at all, but are you getting on? She's like, well, I mean, I think so. I just thought we'd be more like besties, And I mean, now I guess for friendship with Brie, I guess maybe I'm feeling a bit pushed out. Do you understand what I'm saying? And he's like, oh, that's so sad. I will walk off this boat. If I have anybody being rude to you again.
So now everyone's going to change into blacks, because tonight the theme is lavish Dubai nights, which is, I don't know, like it's a little weird. I mean, if you're from Dubai, why do you go onto a boat to have a theme of where you're from, right? Like that's like me going on vacation being like, I want an LA themed meal. Like, no, I could stay in LA for that. For a jankier, like balloony version of the city I'm in. Like, how about Paris or Rome?
I've never understood that when they're like, we're from Oklahoma, we want a barbecue night. Like, okay, so you're from the South. I don't know how barbecue is in Oklahoma. I would assume it's okay. I mean, it's Southern.
Pun intended. Pun intended.
Yeah, I would assume it's okay, LAHOMA, but who knows? But why would you go to like another country and be like, make us some barbecue?
I know. I don't understand that. I don't understand that mentality of like, I feel like if you're going to travel somewhere, get something that's just a little different, But
they always do it on this show. Everybody does it. Because remember, even the gays do it. Remember the gays came and they were like, we want to eat something gay. And they were like, okay. They're like, yeah, just make us gay things. That was their
penis cake and flags every single time. They love it.
That was their request. I died at that. And then they actually did a bunch of gay shit. They're like, okay, now we've got penis foods. This looks like a little penis. Like, yes, Gaga's back.
So Zarina and Alicia are still cooking. Alicia's making little, what do you call those?
Mistakes.
Those little meat, cafides. No, you know what I'm talking about. She's making little meat dumplings.
She's making little meat
meatballs. Meat wieners. They're like little torpedoes.
They look like little kibby.
Kibbies. That's what it is. Kibby. She's making kibby dicks. And so Alicia's like, oh, they look like little poos. And Serena's like, I'm not going to laugh at that, even though, God, I would love to laugh at that. It's so true. And basically, Elisa's just like, so any technique to make them all look the same? Just practice and shutting up. That's it. The more you shut up, the better they turn out.
So, but it's important that they're all the same, right? Yes, I guess give them all blonde hair and some lipstick so Laura will be kind to them. Maybe that'll work. She goes, well, would you like some tea after this? She goes, no, I wouldn't like some tea after. All right, but I'm so sorry. I just can't go the whole evening like this. It's very depressing. It's fucked. I'm just bored of this. Like, come on.
She's like, well, I'm just utterly exhausted. I've been a moody, grumpy bitch today, and I will continue to do that. So this moment of self-awareness is brought to you by this moment of back to being a moody, grumpy bitch. All right. Make your kibbies.
Marina is talking to Nick about French. She's like, oh, you know French? And he's like, parlez-vous français? And she's like, oh my God, vas-tu? And he's like, oh yeah, Marina, adorable. Growing up, I didn't approach women really. I mean, my first kiss was at 19 and she was painted blue. It was hard, actually. Star Trek themed convention I went with my dad.
I was like, Ben, wait for it.
I thought I was getting a hand job. She had 8 actual octopi arms coming out of her. It was actually very sexy. I just don't know that anyone will ever compete with that.
Turns out she was actually some sort of new age kind of room fan. It was weird. So I was shamed. So Laura, he and Marina are flirting, basically. And then Laura's like, okay, Zarina, could you explain this dish that you made for me? And Zarina's like, it's like burnt garlic dal with a fusion of chickpea, eggplant, cinnamon curry. And Laura's like, oh, crazy. Look at that crazy dish you just made. Wow, wacky poo.
I've never heard of a more unstable dish to serve to guests. I should bring this up with Captain. So they serve it. The guests love it. And then Nate and Harry are chatting about tomorrow docking, and Harry seems to be kind of in charge of it. You know, he's like, I know how to do this, I know how to do that. And Nate loves it. He's like, coming in this late and shorter season as a leader, you gotta earn respect, and it's not there yet. But luckily, I've got no ego. That was mostly bleached out when I do the highlights every year, so that's positive. But I've got Harry, and Harry's got a work ethic. He's got a passion for the job. He cries quite a bit, which is something we've got to work on, maybe, or maybe we don't. I don't know. Can you cry while you bring in a line? We'll find out. I'm putting him in charge of everything.
So then Laura serves the first course and everything. Everyone likes it. Everyone goes to sleep. And so then Alicia's talking to Zarina, and she's like, oh, it's the next day. We wrapped up that evening quickly. It's the next day, and Alicia's
I would like to talk about corn-fed chicken. I don't like when people brag about feeding the chicken corn. They're like, here's a corn-fed chicken. Oh, wow. Were there no Snickers-fed chicken available? Like, why are we bragging that we're not feeding the chicken crap? Was that what kind
like
of
grass-fed beef?
To? Yes. They're like, look, we didn't feed. This was not. I just think it's a sad place we've come in this world where you never know what they're being fed. It's like this chicken was fed children. Enjoy it. It was $1 off at the market. But, that's what you have to do now. You have to specify. You know what? Does this have hormones? Does this a hormone chicken? Like, what did this chicken eat?
It is funny because I feel like, isn't there a whole movement of anti-corn movement? Like, big corn's ruining everything. These corn farms, da 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 da. And then they're like, but God, we hate corn. But also, we fed this chicken corn.
Yeah, but it's good for the chickens. Yeah.
It's good. If it's good for the chicken, it's good for the for the guests.
And I know that movement is like mostly about like this wasn't raised in headless in a cage and just fed,
Yeah. Oh, I hope it wasn't raised headless.
Yeah, they do that. Haven't you ever watched one of those food documentaries? That's why I don't eat meat anymore, because fucking Netflix. I've watched so many of those documentaries. Yeah, they like engineer chickens to be just. I think they're headless. You look at it because now I feel crazy the way you're looking at me.
I'm afraid.
But yeah, they raise like these mutant crazy chickens in these little tiny cages. They never move. And I think they're headless. And they just raise them and with all these steroids. So, I mean, I see where the movement comes from. I just think it's sad that we've come that far where we're like, can I just make sure this wasn't a headless chicken raised in a shoebox? Okay, was never able to walk. It's just sad. It's just sad. Wow. That's all I'm saying. But here we are with the corn-fed chicken. My mom's obsessed with corn and thinks that everybody is fat because of corn. She's like, you know why America's fat? Corn. Corn did it. Corn's in everything. Corn is the killer. So my mom like literally looks at corn as a murderer. So I'm with you, why are we bragging about feeding the chicken corn,
Right. Except the truth is, corn is so delicious, and I love corn deeply. I was born for corn, like Madison LaCroix. And so I will never be able to be totally anti-corn because...
Really? Did you ever see the
heart.
corn documentary? Oh, that was another one on Netflix.
That's like saying, it's like, Ronnie, that's like if someone said to me, hey, Ben, do you want to watch a documentary about all the awful things Ronnie has done? I'm like, I'm not going to watch that. No. The things that I love, I'm looking the other way. I'm looking the other way.
Thank you. And that's the secret to a friendship right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
I will not be watching any slander documentaries about Ronnie or corn.
Well, now I hope I've given you some nightmares. Corn is evil, and chickens are usually headless that you eat. Okay, so the crew wakes up, and Alicia is in the galley. What?
I said, but are they happy? I bet they are. That's one less thing they don't have to worry about. They don't have to worry about, like, oh God, my face is so saggy. Like, they're just like, they're like, I don't have to worry about.
Hey, look at me, I've got chicken neck.
Like, is that chicken at this point? Is that chicken neck or is that chicken face? Because isn't your neck kind of your face at this point? Quiet, Joelle.
All right, so we're in the galley, and Alicia's asking what to do, and she's like, all right, well, we need to have a bit of a chop. She goes, but I only started a minute ago. She goes, all right, well, separate the eggs. I need 12 eggs separated. Go. And she goes, okay, well, that's it. Anyway, I've done that. All right, now I can concentrate on the crew. So, you're putting something together. Is that for the guests? And she's like, no, it's for the crew. We're going to do both together today. Crew together, then we're going to get it out of the way, then we're going to do the guests together. All right, so I'm going to need to do the egg separation now. I needed them right away is the thing, and you didn't do them, and now I need them, so...
She was like, no, I did do them. Look, there's 12 of them. I'm really genuinely confused about what's going on because you haven't told me what you're planning. And she's okay, when I tell you to do this, you do it. And then you tell me they're done. And you don't go and do different things. She goes, but it was already done when I started doing other things. Like, what I'm confused about. I was like, did you say they're done, chef? Well, they're done, chef. But did you say they're done, chef, who's better than Lara? Well, I didn't say that last part. And there's the problem.
She's like, okay, but what's going on with the crew breakfast? What's going on with the thing? You've not actually told me what you've planned for the crew. So you say we're working together, but I have no idea what you're doing. And so now she's at the point where she's basically like the other sous chef. And she's like, what is this lady thinking? Like, I have no idea what she's doing. She's all over the place. And she needs to just be a better boss, basically. And she tells her, I respect her for just telling Serena. She's like, look, I'm walking on eggshells around you. And then I don't know where to fit in and where to work when you've not told me. And I keep asking you. And I don't mind being shown, but you're not telling me. And she's like, okay.
But first of all, let me just say something. When you separate the eggs, don't throw the shells on the floor, okay? That's the first step. So that way you're not walking on them all the time, okay? Come on, think here. It's very simple what you have to do here. But basically, Zarina's like, she's like, just like, no, I'm not going to help. So now the guests are all...
like, don't be a strawberry. I hate strawberries.
So everyone is, the guests are taking photos, and Adair is revealing, we actually don't know, we know like a little bit about Adair, but she has like not a lot of personality. But now we find out one of her fears, which is the anchor. She's afraid of the anchor because it could kill her. She's like, well, I always second guess myself on the anchor just because it could kill me, and not in the fun way, like if you were run over by like a 4x4 while you're chasing a gator in the outback.
I was going to say, didn't we see pictures of her on like 4x4 or four-wheelers and stuff? A 4x4.
Yeah.
She's on a piece of wood.
Hey, it's called the seesaw. It's called the seesaw where I come from. You put a 4x4 over a can of beer. Whoever's fattest goes to the ground. That's it.
It's by far the scariest thing. Just think about how it's going to spin. So we want to stop it falling. So you want this bit touching that bit. She's like, okay. Which, by the way, that does not sound precise at all. You want this bit touching that bit, and now you won't get killed.
Yeah, that was a little scary. And she goes, okay, heard. He goes, heard, dude. So food is served. And we're seeing the steps climbed. 322 stairs climbed so far. And the guest
I'm going to need those steps. Sorry to interrupt. I'm going to need those steps to actually start to matter because it's been like 10 episodes and they keep giving us the staircase count and it has not had any impact on anything in a long time. So unless someone like gets like an Achilles heel issue, you don't tell us how many stairs are going up because
I need a strained butthole or something. Like I need somebody to be like, my butthole strained. I can't do it with all the steps.
Anger. Heard. So this is when Nikki finds out. One of the guests is like, oh my God, Nikki, you won another award. You won the #1 most popular girl on this boat. Congratulations.
And Laura's like putting drips of like, saline and not saline. What do you put into people's drinks to make them have diarrhea? Like it's clear. I guess it's like eye drops or something. What do you do? Ooh, I don't know. They used to do slumber parties when I was a kid.
like a saline. I think saline. I don't know.
No, it's just salt.
I don't know. Just salt water, which is
I don't know. Saline. We shouldn't be giving people weapons for slumber parties anyway, Ben.
No, absolutely not.
She's like, oh my God, you're on the 23rd Middle East Women's Leader. Okay, you're the 23rd Women's Middle East Leader in Excellence Award. What the fuck was this award? Okay, let me tell you what this is.
Given out by the Penny Saver? What is this?
This is the line as written. Okay, well, at least as written for us. On the 23rd Middle East Women's Leader, you won the 23rd Women's Middle East Leaders Excellence Award.
Now,
I believe that sounds like a real word. You're like the excellent woman of excellent women of excellence in the Middle East, but you're number 23, and you're lucky because we only pick 23 people, which makes you good.
That makes you like the Michael Jordan of excellence in the Middle East Leaders Excellence Award.
Can we maybe bring up that she was #1 or not bring up 23rd, like you got 23rd? Maybe just say like you won a Middle East Women's Leader Award. Well, I mean, what kind of friend is like, wow, congratulations, you came in 23?
I am, of course I had to do a search. And
what did it come up with?
So I did a search of Nikita, Middle East Women's Leader Award. Was her name Nikita Sakdev? I don't know if this is her or not.
Nikita is N-A-K. N-A-K. Nikita.
N-A-K. Okay, so I was about to rag on someone else because someone else named Nikita, she won an award a month ago. And she was like, so honored. She won. Nikita Lord won. She was nominated for Most Influential Woman in Blockchain and Crypto 2025 at the Middle East Blockchain Awards, which means that there's an award for everything. That's what I've got to say. The Middle Eastern Blockchain Awards.
Yeah, well, that's a huge
I want to throw something there.
The crypto. 25th Middle East Women Leaders Excellence Awards. They were April 9th. Oh, well, they're going to be April 9th in 2026. So who's the winners? I want to see who number 23 is. I'm going to fact check who's number 23.
I know.
Kim Phuc won Woman Personality of the Year.
Kim Phuc.
Phan Thi Kim Phuc from Vietnam won. She had a Pulitzer Prize winning photograph titled "The Terror of War." God damn, I'm actually interested in these awards now. Okay, this is why we should not be Googling stuff while we're podcasting.
I know.
I'm into it now. I'm like, who's in the race this year?
Can Nikita hold her chair?
Sandy.
Can she hold her name? Hold the throne, or will someone else come for her crown? So she won this award, and then Nikita is like, "Oh my god!" So now it's time to leave. So she gives a speech. She goes, "Everything was amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better trip. Although maybe I could have, which is why maybe there's like a trip that's worth like $10,000 more of tip. But like for one that's on TV, this is amazing. My only criticism." Is that Nick needs to work on his beer pong skills. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, fuck off, you shitty tipper. I hope you fall over into the ocean. Yeah. So now clean. Marina and Adair are cleaning, doing some stuff. And Marina's like, oh, Nick is cute. And Adair's like,
well, I know something you don't know. I know something you don't know. Bush is president.
No, he's not.
Okay. Well, Nick has already started his party, and he started his party with a guest.
And Marina's like, no fucking way. Don't tell me that. She goes,
Yeah. And he goes up to Catherine and was like, I just want to tell you guys, I don't want you to find another way that I took tequila shots with the guests last night.
and Marina's like, oh, fuck. You scared the shit out of me. I thought you were saying that he slept with one of them. Oh, God. Thank God.
Well, hey, if I knew I could drink on the job, I'd have been hammered yesterday.
Just kidding. I'm hammered right now.
So now it's time for the tip meeting. And so they all sit down and everything. And then Jason's like, all right.
It's like dollar bills, y'all.
Where's my money? So he's like, all right, shot of 6. Well, it wasn't as hectic, but we did knock out a lot. It actually showcased to the newbies what has to be done. And coming in, docking was great. It actually was good little training wheels. Anyway, the point is this: you all got $5 a tip. And I don't think the tip reflects what we got out of this trip, because what we got out of this trip was a lot of tension and passive aggression amongst everyone on board. So congratulations. You all hate each other, and we're probably going to sink on the next charter.
All right, now if Serena's insecurity was actual currency, we'd all be wealthy. Unfortunately, it's not. So you didn't make shit today. Hot new guy, no, not you, the one who did fan fiction of me as a Vulcan. He's the one who's going to get the helmet. All right, you've got the helmet. And he's like, oh, thank you very much. If this is the extent of the ramifications, consider me chuffed.
So Harry's like, all right, nice and interesting charter. Actually, a character. I like Nick. He's interesting. He says everything so proper. He's like a great politician, actually. And if I find out that he has a fake accent, I will walk right off this boat.
Yeah, because now they're all making fun of how he talks. He's like, what does he talk like there? He says everything so proper. He'd be a great politician. And then Dara's like,
Yeah, he sounds like a cartoon character when he talks. Like, where did you come from?
who are you to talk? Jesus Christ, big mouth.
She's like a human banjo. So then Nate's like, yeah, he's a bit of a dork.
And Nate's like, he's a bit of a dork, but he speaks like a prince. The funny thing about Star Trek and Spock is, well, you see, indeed.
That's like me at the beginning of every Below Deck season trying to figure out what people's personalities are. So then Harry, he's like, so, Nate, first charter for you, what do you think? And Nate's like, oh, just happy, dude. And Carrie's like, look, I know I was a lot. I'll step back into line. He's like, no, man, you absolutely crushed it. It was a good dynamic, and you knowing everything and being capable and qualified, like between you and I, there's so much experience and capability on the boat. You've done all your years. I mean, diving, you could be a bosun any day of the week. So, oh, thank you. He's like, and you know what? I'd say you're lead deckhand, mate.
Well, I like that Harry had to lead him there because he's like, oh, mate, you do everything on this boat. You could do anything. I mean, if the duty was ice skating, I bet you could ice skate. You can? You got tights? Good for you, mate. Good for you. You could run it. I don't even know why I'm here. Rich dad, poor dad. Am I right? Rich dad, poor dad. But here we are, mate. Yeah, I'd give you anything. And Harry's like, well, thanks. That's my goal. It's a goal one day. Lead deckhand, and then bosun, and then go from there. And he's like, oh, lead deckhand. All right, you can do lead deckhand too. So he finally got somebody that he can just be like, yes, on lead deckhand, right? And he's like, yes. Why didn't I come up with that? You're even good enough to come up with ideas like lead deckhand. You win, mate. Lead deckhand, you are. Captain of the boat. You're the captain of the boat now. Just go take it over. Kick Kimono Man out. No one needs to see those hanging bowls. I mean, seriously, am I right?
So then Bree is talking to Alicia. She's like, so how was your day? And she's like, well, Serena is a really weird mood. I don't know what it's about. It's causing some really weird energy. And I feel like I'm a kid again. I'm like, well, you also have like your hair and like pigtails. And she's like, I feel like a little girl again. So then, they're just like,
they're so talking shit. By the way, Bree does this. So Laura comes in and Bree's like, oh, Alicia just came in. And she was like, what's wrong with Serena? She was just like really upset. What are we going to do about it? And she goes, go grab her and bring her in here because she doesn't open up and she'll open up to me. Go get her. Dun, dun, dun. Ugh, so gross.
So
Yeah, so Bree brings Alicia in. So now the three of them, the three blondies are talking, and Alicia's like, to be honest, nothing and everything at the same time is going on. I don't get told what's going on about the guest food with crew food. And I'm like, what have you done? And she's like, I'm doing it. And I'm like, well, just tell me what the fuck is going on. And it make me feel really useless. And I'm just getting worked up. It's not what I wanted. And Laura's like, I feel like Alicia's losing her spark. I'm like, she's the same. She's not losing her spark, and she's not in your department either. The level of her spark is not up for you to fix. If you see that it seems like her spark is going away, you speak to Zarina about it as a head of department. And I think it is weird to court someone to talk shit about another head of department to you. I feel like that's really bad. Like, it should just be like you talk in your own department about stuff like that.
Well, she did it all the time with the other dude who got fired, Vion, but we didn't like Vion. So we were like, it's okay for that. But she's doing, it's really the same old tricks. For me, look, here it is. Alicia, first of all, never really had a spark. I like Alicia, but she's not like someone you'd meet and be like, oh my God, there's a fire burning in her. She's nice. Yeah. But she's sparkless. Okay, let's just say she's sparkless. I said it. And second, it's not cool how Serena has been acting in there. So I'm not going to stand up for Serena. And it is okay for Alicia to vent to people. We all have that right at work. But Alicia knows that Serena is slightly traumatized by Laura. And by going and bitching to Laura, that's really uncool on her part. That's just bad. That's just bad friend code. And she knows what she's fucking doing. And I don't like it. She's like deciding, okay, I'm not on this girl's team anymore. Now I'm on these girls' team against Serena. Yeah. And I think it's uncool. I don't like it.
And I think that Laura, what her role in this is that she should go up to Zarina and say, hey, look, I don't know what's going on with you and Alicia, but she's kind of like moping around. So I feel like you guys need to have a talk and you guys should fix it. Like, that's what she should say instead of like, yes, everyone's allowed to vent, but I think professionally she should sort of say, ooh, they are having an issue. And rather than just kind of like be gossipy about it and sort of like foster more of it, she should like encourage the two of them to bond and sort of stay out of it and like get them back on track.
Yeah, because from the building the case part of all of this, I think she's the one who's always building a case. She's like, okay, I'm going to drag her into this room. I'm going to get her to open up. Then I'm going to have all this shit against Serena. And she's just an asshole. This girl's she's so mean. I don't like her. So she's like, well, I feel like you're holding it in. And she's like, no, I feel like I want to cry. I want to cry and cry and cry. And Serena comes in her bikini. She's like, holla, hurrah, we're going to... Oh, wait, is this a private conversation then? Because she totally busts them. They all look at her like, oh, especially
Bree literally looked away. Yeah.
Bree's like, oh.
Like, be chill, Bree. Yeah, and she's like, oh. So you sad? And Lisa's like, I'm bothered. She's like, why are you bothered? She was like, I'm just hot and bothered. So Serena's like, fuck this. She's like, are you fucking kidding me? Of course, if my sous chef wants to talk to me, she can. Laura just cannot help herself, can she? This is just classic bitchy schoolgirl attitude. And why was I so naive and stupid to put her on a pedestal just so she could look right down on me and laugh? I thought we were friends. This is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, called it, Serena. I think she's calling it pretty well. So Laura's like, well, oh God, that could not be worse timing, am I right? I was ready to say, I think we need to air this, but I just don't know if you're ready to say anything now. And Alicia says it's not worth it. You did say something, but you already did. I think she communicated it very well to Serena. So I don't understand why she's acting like she never gets a chance to say anything. She did. And Serena didn't have a fit with you. She just kept working with you. And she's like, well, I'm not going to let it make my life misery. And she goes, yes, but you still need to respect and care for your crew members, because we're together. All of us on a team. Team Strawberry. Am I right?
Yeah. So then Harry and Bree are cuddling, and Harry's saying that, like everyone's getting along well. He's like, and by the way, Knight said that I'm lead deckhand. And Bree's like, oh, okay. Is that like an official title? Should I have a bigger reaction? Oh, cool. That's exciting for you. She doesn't care at all.
It's like, every day you're so positive. It's so well deserved, Harry. You want to make out now? He's like, no. Not really. Time for bed. Go to your own bed. She's like, oh, God, we need to discuss this. So Alicia is talking to Nate. And, so they're in the hot tub. So he goes to the hot tub, and she comes out looking gorge, and she gets in with him. And he's doing that thing where he's like, oh, I'm a confident man with my my hand behind my head. And he's like got his armpit bared, and he's just got his arm hair is too long. Like trim it, you know?
Yeah.
I just wanted to go in there with some little scissors and just trim it.
Yeah, and so she's looking at his tattoos, and she's like, what's that fish on your thing? Which, by the way, thing, also known as an arm. I know, exotic word. What's that fish on your thing? He's like, oh, that's a salmon. It's my last name. I'm a very literal person. So since my last name's Salmon, I got a salmon tattooed on my arm, just in case I forgot what my last name is.
And he's like, what's that on yours? And she's like, oh, I've got a tattoo of Swoosie Kurtz because she's the lesser of the sisters.
Well, I often said she was a top tier one, but that's all right.
Well, I mean, there was Seela to contend with, wasn't there? So,
well, she's number one, obviously. I always thought the lesser one was the one he used to be married to, Bruce Springsteen, whatever her name was.
well, I didn't want a completely
Julianne Phillips.
unrecognizable tattoo, did I? So,
I mean, who cares about Julianne Phillips? Am I right?
exactly. I don't even remember her on that television show. But, you know, here's to completely on the nose tattoos.
At least Patricia Callenber works.
So she gets out. And he's like, God damn. Oh, no, he gets out, actually. He's like, enjoy your hot tub. And he's like, marriage.
He has a
I see marriage coming.
Well, we also have his backstory, which is that he used to be a ski person. He was a ski bum, and then he like crashed, and he broke his leg, and then he was in bed for a long time and got sad, and then was like, well, I can either be sad or I could start watching Sisters, because one day I'll meet a girl who has a tattoo of one of them, and I did. But on top of that, I thought, let's also learn how to be a bosun.
You're the master of your own ship, and I've got to remember that. Swoosie Kurtz for life. But we also find out, we were joking around, but when she goes, oh, you're Salmon. Well, hello, Salmon. Meet Mrs. Bean. That's her name. Alicia Bean.
Do you think she's related to Mr. Bean?
That's what I love about it. I mean, that would be amazing. Yeah. My daddy doesn't speak much, but he's quite a joker.
Lots of facial expressions, which is why I choose to have very few. It's a rebellion. So then Nate's telling Nick, he's like, oh, bro, Alicia came up red lipstick and a little red headband looking like a pinup girl, you know, bean tattoo on that thing of hers, her arm. Yeah, that. God, danger zone.
All the way to the danger zone. So then Alicia is texting Johnny that she misses him and she's not as positive without him here. And now everybody is getting ready to go out and party. Jason compliments Harry's clothes. He's really stepping it up. And now we're in taxis to dinner. So Serena's asking Nate if he's a hopeless romantic. And Nick's like, well, I've only had one proper relationship. That was 4 years and 8 arms long. God, I miss that girl.
Oh, but I feel like you're not a one-night stand kind of guy. It's like, no, there needs to be a connection there. And also several limbs. Otherwise, there's no point.
So now at dinner, everyone's like, oh, Nick, sit next to Marina. And she's like, look at me. My feet don't touch the ground. He goes, oh, your feet are swinging. That is absolutely adorable.
And then everyone's just like chatting, and Elisa's wondering if she's a masochist if she says she misses Johnny, and Harry's like, oh, there's nothing wrong with missing Johnny. At the same time, though, there's 2 new people, and you know, if you do have any sort of interest in them, I would love that, because then I could call up Johnny and tattle on you. So, you know, have at it.
And she's like, oh, I've got myself in a funk. I just need to go have a smoke. So Serena goes with her. And Serena's asking if she's okay. And she's like, what do you think of the new boys? And she's like, I mean, they're okay, but I'm still missing Johnny. And Serena's like, I mean, he just uplifted you, you know? You don't have to talk about it, but isn't that wonderful when you've got a friendship of someone who uplifts you instead of going to talk behind your back to Laura? Isn't that fun?
Yeah, and Elisa's like, yeah, I haven't felt very bubbly recently. She's like, oh, is there a reason for it? It's like, yeah, I think it's hard when we're in that box together, and by we're in that box, I mean, you're acting like a moody bitch, and I'm just trying to figure out how many eggs I have to crack open.
And she's like, well, look, I can't always say thank you and say things nicely. All right. If I say, hey, grab that for me, just grab it. And she goes, but that's not what bothers me. I don't know. When I took the picnic and you were like, oh, so you can do this without your head chef being here. Like, it was just so condescending. And she's like, oh God, I wasn't being condescending. I was just mad at Laura because she made me go, and then you go, Laura. And then why am I there till she takes and covers off something where I'm like, why am I there? All we need to do is uncover stuff. Like, why is she incapable of doing that?
Right. And Lisa's like, well, I just guess I need to grow some thicker skin. She's like, no, I'm really sorry if sometimes it seems passive aggressive and overly sarcastic. I just cannot hide any of my emotions. Like, okay. So now they've mended. Not really. I kind of feel like they didn't talk about the core issue, but they've kind of mended for now and they hug. It was like a nice moment of resolution. I was like, I was a little stressed out about their rift. So
I think this was good. I think this was really good. She said her feelings, which she was right about Alicia at the end of the day. She's like, I mean, why are you treating me like that? And she said, okay, I was being an asshole. I'm sorry for being an asshole. And she didn't bring Laura into it, which I thought was pretty mature and professional. So, you know what? On the professional scale, you guys, you are so professional. You guys are like number 24 and 25 on the women's excellence scale in Dubai.
Wow.
So
they really did it.
Yeah.
So Zarina's like saying, I've been focusing so much on trying to get Laura off my tits that I've been an asshole to Alicia. And now and that's not how it works. So she's like, she realizes, okay, I've been too mean to her. So now the boys are in the bathroom just talking about girls and everything, which girls they like and everything like that. And then everyone goes off to the club to dance. And then Laura sits down with Zarina to talk. With Alicia, and she's like, so, Strawberry, did you have a chat with Zarina? Was she a heinous bitch to you as usual? God, she's awful, am I right?
And, I mean, she was just talking about, the industry and just said it's chefing. And Laura's like, no, I hate that saying. It's the industry. It's not the industry. You don't have to talk about people like that. You don't have to be like that. It's just such a dated thing to say. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. Fucking Laura. Okay. Laura's like, no, don't let her off the hook. Still be pissed off at her.
Yeah. I didn't like this because everything was like good in that department and now she's meddling,
Yeah.
And so Laura's like, how we talk to crew members matters, period. Okay. Just because you're a chef doesn't mean that you can talk to someone like shit. Like, it doesn't work like that. We're all adults. We're all professionals. We need to respect each other. That's it. Like,
oh yeah. We need to be professionals and just roll our eyes at each other and talk behind each other's back and get factions of each other to not like each other. That's what professionals do. You're not rude to someone's face.
Look, she's not wrong, but they settled it. They covered this, and Zarina pledged to do better.
Head of department, she had a talk with somebody who she knew was annoyed. She apologized. They communicated about it, and they fixed it. And you, another head of department, is going to come in and try and trample all over it and cause more discord. You suck. You suck, and you suck at your job.
So
shame on you. Shame on you. This is the point where I get too angry about somebody on Below Deck. And my life starts not to make any sense. And then I'm at the grocery store and I'm like, why was Laura so mean to Serena? And it just goes downhill. And that means the season needs to end soon because I don't like feeling like this way about people on TV. But I'm mad.
Yeah. And by the way, in the middle of all this, Nick and Marina do make out on the dance floor. Just want to say that. And it's exciting. So now Zarina...
He's like doing like really awkward nerd dancing. She's like, oh my God, you can move. I'm like, no, just... don't encourage this. But then they make, it's cute. Awkward people. She's not awkward, but like, I like awkward love. Awkward love's cute.
Yeah. And she loves that he's a nerd, So Zarina's like, oh, mommy needs to sit down. And Laura's like, oh, so how are you feeling? She goes, well, I have the Alicia stuff on my mind a lot. And she's so with the fairies all the time. She goes, well, she doesn't feel loved right now. She feels like you don't like her. And I'll be completely honest. Sometimes you can say something to me and it will make me feel stupid. I'm like, why?
See, here she goes, turning it all around on. After being passive aggressive all day, she's going to come in and try and start a fight with somebody else and make it look like she's the victim. So Serena's like, well, but I have exactly the same as you, though, because in the last charter, that's the first time in my whole career I've ever had a stewardess tell me what to plate on. And that absolutely shocked me.
I love that this really all comes down to those plates. Like this was like the plating of the Mafia Night meal was the straw that broke the camel's back here. So Lara's like, well, it should be a joint decision on what's best for the table. And she's, yeah, but I feel like you wouldn't let it go unless I said yes. She goes, well, but that's because I know that my vision's the correct one and your vision's the disgusting one. That's the way it always works. You're like the ogre in the clock tower and I'm the beautiful one that people love. That's just life.
Yeah, I mean, as far as just taking my annoyance with Lara away, as far as that, don't they discuss that on every other one? Like, okay, what plate should we use tonight? Well, we're doing this theme, so let's use these plates. I've seen that discussion happen so many times on Below Deck that I'm shocked that it even came to this. And I'm also shocked that a chef would be like, what do you mean I can't use these plates? Like, it seems kind of normal in a decoration thing, but yeah, I agree that Lara should have said earlier what to serve. They should have decided it earlier. It just seems like a weird fight because we've seen this go on a million Below Decks and it's never been a problem.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I am Team Lara in the plate choice. I think that the white plates were the better choice in this situation, but it is weird that it was not discussed ahead of time and figured out the moment the preference sheet came out.
Yeah, so Serena's like, she just doesn't give a shit about me. And that is how we end.
This rift that will continue to grow and grow and grow. Well, thanks everyone for being here. I hope you all have lovely plates to put your next meal on. And I hope they do not cause as much strife as these plates caused between Lara and Zarina. Go check out our website, watchwhatcrappens.com, to get tickets to our live shows. And we will catch you on the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Our way is the Amber way.
It's the Foster and the Furious. It's Amanda Foster. It's always automatic with Ashley Auto.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Put your hands together for Carly Clapp. Catherine DiBernardo has our Hardo.
Get on the right foot with Chrissy Offutt. Dana C. Dana Do.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Etchels.
We never miss her call. It's Diane Call.
Erin McNicholas. She don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
You'll never hide from Heidi Eleanor Jones. I go, you go, we all go for Hugo. Jamie. She has no last namey. We could all learn from Jennifer Kearns.
She's our kind of mess. It's Jennifer Messer.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Knock, knock, knocking on Katie Mannock's door. She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Get a bee in your bonnet with Lacey B.
Bringing the funk, it's Leslie Plunkett.
She gets an A from us. It's Lindsay D. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Fresh as a daisy, it's Maisie McHenry.
We love her on the rocks. It's Melissa Cox. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
This is Livin' with Michelle Vivian.
I love ya, Olivia Williamson. Tastier than Flanderson, it's Rachel Manderson.
She sure is swell. It's Raquel.
Yes, we canna, it's Savannah.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman. Let's share with Sharon Eldridge. The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
She's VVIP, it's Amanda V. Can't lose when you're with Amy Baldwin.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's go into the woods with Guy Tubbs.
Who, what, why, where, and Gwen Pentland.
It's our queen, it's Queen Laifa.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
We got our wish, it's Jen Plish. She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch. She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
She gets an A, it's Kelly B.
We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley. We're ride or die for Lisa Ryder Barron. She's a whiz, it's Liz Sarthy. Always killing it, it's Lola Alkalani.
The incredible edible Matthews sisters. She eases our woes, it's Melissa St. Rose.
We're on the floor with Molly Dorset.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
There's a chance of meatballs, it's Rebecca Cloud.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
It's always a good time when you're wasting time with Bravo.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.